What's good, guys? We back with another video on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? We got CJ. We getting into sports today. How y'all feeling?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Yes, sir. All right. NFL playoffs, man. Yo, it's been a crazy few games. What have been our top few moments? We did miss a week, but what are our top moments of the playoffs so far?
Well, unfortunately, from the last time we spoke, the Eagles are out the playoffs. Um, it's very unfortunate.
It's not unfortunate at all. But continue.
Oh,
You feel this.
I feel like this. I feel like the season was a disappointment. I feel like the season was a disappointment. To be honest, bro, we shouldn't have been out. The comp in the NFC East. I mean, not the NFC East. The NFC in general is not good enough. We should have been still alive right now, competing for a chip right now. But we couldn't get it together. It seemed like the front office didn't want to get it together, so clearly we didn't want to win bad enough. Because all the problems that we are dealing with right now are the same problems we've been dealing with all season, and nothing changed. So to me, that means we wanted to lose. So if they wanted to lose, we lost. You know what I'm saying? So that's very unfortunate. But hey, the Pats is still alive. Diggs is still in the playoffs. I'm still happy.
CJ, what we thinking about? Any playoff news? Anything you want to touch into? How do you feel about the Eagles?
I got nothing for you. I got just the Giants and the Eagles have the same amount of playoff wins this year. That's all.
That doesn't
Hey, there
none of
ain't no
that
much to say. There
none of
ain't
that
much
matters.
to say.
None of that matters because it's like they can say that. You can say that as a Giants fan, but they're not in the playoffs. They didn't make
Yeah,
it to the playoffs. Doesn't
Trent,
even
guess
matter.
what?
You
We
know what
got
I'm
a
saying?
coach.
They won three
We got
games.
our guy.
So what? We been had a
We good.
coach.
We got our guy,
We been had a
Tuli.
coach, bro.
So Trent, in our friend group, did you feel like the Eagles loss was like everybody's Super Bowl, or like how
Bro,
did that feel to be hated?
bro. In the middle of this pod, we're gonna cut right here, and we're gonna throw in a clip. And there's a clip of the last play of the
Of
Eagles,
AJ Brown.
and you're
Well, it
gonna
wasn't the
see.
last play, but
Oh
It
yeah,
was
was
like
that the one on TikTok?
it was like the real last play, and you're gonna see how everybody in the room celebrated that the Eagles lost, and one person the Eagles pointed at was me. Stop talking, bro.
Yeah.
Why don't y'all just want to watch for the moment, bro?
Come on. Yeah. Say. Blue. Here we go. Oh, that's a touchdown. Oh! Yeah. Come on. These fat niggas, take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
Because I'm just a winner. As a fan, I'm just a winner. I
Mm.
don't know what it is, but God just blessed me to just like I just see talent. I just see talent.
you was a loser with the Giants for a lot of years though. But
Uh,
you ain't claimed them losses, did you, huh?
Saquon was always a winner in my heart.
No, 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 no,
He
no,
was a
no.
winner. He was a
He
winner
was a
in my
he
heart.
was a winner when he tore that ACL, when he had that high ankle sprain. Was he
Hey,
a winner
bro.
then?
Hey, it's all right. He was out. You know, it happens. It's that. I mean, it's football. So
You know who was a winner? Puka Nakua. But let's go back on track, Tuli. It had started.
All right. So yeah, so man, speaking of the Eagles, how's AJ Brown looking? What's the future looking like, Trent?
bro. The future with AJ Brown, I feel like it's fine. I feel like a lot of people just like overreacted, hyped it up, made it bigger than what it is. Yes, we had issues last year with AJ Brown, but at the same time, that wasn't really like a QB fault. It was just an offensive coordinator fault. You know what I'm saying? Like he kind of he coordinates the offense, and he wasn't getting AJ Brown involved a lot in the beginning, and then a lot of the schemes and plays that were being ran were just garbage. So how are you supposed to work with that? You know what I'm saying? And then when your play starts to become predictable, it affects everybody on the team. And you just can't have that many stars on one team for you not to be able to get them involved and to be winning successfully and easily. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's really too big of a deal. The Eagles already said they don't want to trade AJ Brown. They don't want to get rid of AJ Brown. I think the world wants AJ Brown out of there. But in reality, bro, he's still gonna be an Eagle next year. I think they'll be fine and on their normal pace. He hit his 1K this year. I feel like if he didn't hit 1K this year, he probably would have cried a little bit more, which is fair, understandable. But he got his 1K this year. We still made it to the playoffs. We still won the division. All we just need to do is get rid of our OC, and he's gone. So
I think it's not even about the Eagles trading AJ Brown because obviously you said they didn't like they want to keep AJ Brown. Who would I want a top 10 receiver in their league? But I think it's about people wanting to trade for AJ Brown, like Josh Allen. They've never had that wide receiver one besides Stephon Diggs. And he got up out of there pretty quickly. But I think with the removal of Sean McDermott, I think the Bills are gonna find a true wide receiver one. And I think it could be AJ Brown. He could fit well over there. And if AJ Brown does force his way out, you go watch out for the Pats too. But I think it's about people trying to get AJ Brown. He's a top tier receiver. Nobody's denying that. And I think there's still some friction between him requesting a trade, them denying it, not giving him what he wants. I think he doesn't have a good bond with the ownership. So I think that could come down, have a problem. But if I had to pick, I think AJ Brown should go to the Bills. You want yards, you want your targets, go over with Josh Allen. New coach, new system, new everything.
But and let's just talk about like some crazy moments last week. I'm not really too much of an NFL watcher, but I seen Caleb Williams. That might have been the greatest thing I ever seen, bro. That dude threw that ball dumb
I'm
far.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That was like something you like. Me and you spoke about it before. That's like one of those like, you down by 3. You know what I'm saying? You need a little game winner, like shit you practice in the backyard type shit. That's one of those like crazy moments.
That's a
What was it, like
recess
fourth
pass
and
right
four?
there, bro. That's
Like
crazy.
4th and 4, you get pushed back to like the 50. Just launch up a bomb, touchdown. It's crazy, bro.
To me,
But
I'm confused on why they didn't go for two though. It made no sense. You got Soldier Field going crazy. Go for two. You you having a great season. Go for two. As a Puka fan, I want that ring, so I'm glad they kicked the extra point. But you know, I don't know why they didn't go for two. I was expecting them.
I would have rather died in overtime. I'm not gonna lie, because if they wouldn't have got it, a lot of fans would have been very, very angry. Like, yo, bro, you just wasted, a miracle. You know what I'm saying? So I think they would have rather lose in overtime than go for two, not get it, game over. That would have blew me. You know what I'm saying? It's not regular season. This is playoffs too. So you just can't be. You could take those risks, but it's time and place. That
Mhm.
wasn't the time.
So what's the predictions looking like for this week? We'll just start off with the Patriots and Broncos. What are we thinking?
It should be the Patriots easily. I feel like the Patriots, yes, Bo Nix. I had the Patriots winning with Bo Nix if Bo Nix was playing or not. You know what I'm saying? But no Bo Nix, I feel like that gives you a big plus. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the Patriots, you know what I'm saying? The defense could kind of get a little bit of a break. I wouldn't sleep on the Broncos because that's how you fuck around and you lose. But I think it should be an easy game. I think all the offense has to do is play their part. You know what I'm saying? They just got to do their part. If they do their part and not maintain a game, really just kind of like be consistent during the game. I think they win the game easily. This is a free ride to the Super Bowl. I see them not really fucking this one up.
I'm gonna double down with him. I'm gonna take the Patriots, and I think if they lose to Jared Stidham, that's a huge problem. The one thing that gives them a plus is obviously the Broncos got an elite defense, and we saw the Texans get to Drake May a couple of times, fumbles. So Will Campbell has got to protect. He's really got to protect because he's got Nick Bonito over there. He's really, really got to protect. And it's not like you're in Foxborough. You're going to be up in altitude in Denver. And I think what gives them like such an advantage is that nobody knows Jared Stidham. There's no film on him for real. They got 4 games. How can you scout for that? You don't know what he's gonna do.
But
So I think that is a you know
I feel
uh,
like that's dangerous too, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like when there's no film on certain people, like like it seems like an easy game, but a lot of the time, like first if Jared Skidham or whatever his name is, if he's actually nice, but that's scary because you can't watch film. You can't watch film on him. There's no film on him, so it's really hard. I think the last time he's really throwing a pass or playing a real game was like 2 years.
2023.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 2, 3 years ago, bro, or whatever. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, how you really ever gonna determine like what he likes, or what he wants to do, or like where he improved at, where he's because bro, we haven't seen nothing on him. So that's very, very scary. So, that's a scary sight for the
A-
Patriots. At the same time, he could just be another backup that sells, which I'm hoping the case is. But, you never really know, to be honest.
And
So,
then with the Texans, it's like they kept them in, like the Texans defense kept them in the game for so long, but you can only go so far when your QB throws 4 picks. Like I seen a clip the other day, like 31 other QBs would have won that game. CJ Stroud didn't win that game.
Mhm.
I could I take Justin Fields to win that game because guess what? He doesn't throw the ball, so he's not going to turn the ball over. He's not going to turn the ball over. He threw 4 picks. Threw 4 picks. It's
I
it's
just,
as simple as that.
I disagree. I feel like some other QBs could have played better, but I don't think 30 other QBs win that game. Because I feel like, the same time, like the defense was still doing their job. Yes, yes, CJ Stroud threw those picks and stuff like that. But at the same time, defense plays a part in that. You know what I'm saying? Like even like rushing him out the pocket, getting him to move out the pocket. That's the defense. You know what I'm saying? The defense getting those picks. You're in the right place, right time. That's defense. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta give the defense credit where it's due. And at the same time, I still think the Patriots defense would have did good with regardless of the situation. To be honest with you, because they're a top tier defense too. So yeah,
All right. And then for the last game, Rams and Seahawks.
I mean,
I'm going to go with you want to try?
now go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna go with the Rams. Y'all know I love my Puka Nakua. Come on now. But nah, honestly, I've been telling everybody like Puka is a game wrecker. Like he can single-handedly wreck games. The Panthers game, first drive. I already said this before. He walked them down. That's like in Seattle, 12 receptions. What, 225 yards, 2 tuds? Like that's nasty. And that was with no Devontae Adams. Like that's nasty work. He could easily wreck games, just like Cooper Cup did when they won the Super Bowl. I just think it's very, very hard to just cover him. And then on top, they get Devontae Adams back. They were up. It was like a 3 possession game in Seattle. They blew it, but if you're up 3 possessions at that's something. And it just comes down to Matthew Stafford taking care of the ball. And if the Seahawks defense plays lights out like they've been doing, what they did to the 49ers, then it is what it is. But I just don't think like there's no guarding Puka Nacua. I'm sorry. There really isn't.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna be real. I think I think Matthew Stafford is a very very great QB. I think he's a very good QB. At the same time, I think he's gonna crack under pressure, and I feel like I've seen that a lot this season. Matthew Stafford cracking under pressure, and I think he's gonna crack under pressure. Me going for the Patriots right now. I want to see the Rams. I want to see the Rams. At the same time, I don't think I'm gonna see the Rams. I think I'm gonna see the Seahawks. Um, I think Sam Darnold is dirt. I think he's getting carried by his defense. Um, at the same time, I think the Seattle offense has something they do need to worry about because I'm not gonna lie, Jackson Smith and Jigma, he's not gonna save you. This is not something he can save. He needs a QB to throw him the ball. You know what I'm saying? He can't save you out from this. So I feel like if the defense doesn't do their part, or if the defense ends up slipping up, they lose that game. So I think it's really gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game because I see Matthew Stafford kind of choking a little bit. Um, I don't see Sam Darnold doing anything. And yeah, I don't see Devontae Adams doing anything either. So they better hope Puka does something. But at the same time, last game I felt like Puka had a little bit of a rough game, to be honest. So we'll kind of see.
Rough game with what, 70 yards he finished with?
I think
Rough
he
game.
ended.
That's a rough game for Puka.
I think he had like what, like 49 and I think 62 in total. I think so.
Uh,
That seems
and
like a
that
pretty
that
rough game.
Bears that Bears secondary. It's a solid secondary.
And,
But
and, and the Seahawks secondary is probably a little bit better. I mean, not a little bit better. They probably run the same.
nah, it is better. But what did he just do a couple weeks ago? 12, 225, 2 tuds.
This is playoff stuff.
But also with Sam Darnold, the Rams. Do you remember what the Rams did to him? How many sacks they had last year in the playoffs when he was with the Vikings? With probably a better O line, they wrecked the game. And then the Rams were supposed to be home and they weren't home. They played in Arizona. They didn't even have their home field advantage. They played in Arizona because of the wildfires. And Trey, I got a question for you. Did Matthew Stafford choke when he played Tom Brady with that comeback in Tampa Bay a couple years ago? Nah, on that final drive when Tampa Bay had all the momentum, everything, they came back. Cam Akers fumbled, ball punched out. He came down and single-handedly played catch with Cooper Kupp and won the game. Single-handedly. He did not crack under no pressure. He walked them down probably about 60 yards, playing catch with one person. One person. And brought him to the
Um,
Super Bowl.
if we're just keeping it a buck, if we're just keeping it a buck, he's been getting bailed this far.
By who?
If we're just being real, he's just be getting bailed by the rest of his team, which is their job, which is fair. But there's a lot of games like the Panthers games, and you could even say a little bit of last game where like he's making bad passes and turning over the ball and stuff like that. And we can't even make it seem like the Rams is like doing something. They're winning by 3 in the playoffs. They've won every game by 3 so far.
They're figuring it
Field
out. That's all
goals.
that matters.
Yeah, they are figuring it out. But like, how long are you going to figure it out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are they expecting to win by a field goal every game? Because they're only winning by a field goal, and this is it's only the first 2 rounds. So if you're only winning by a field goal the first round, and then the second round the same thing, the third round you think you're going to win by a field goal again? You know what I'm
It,
saying? So
it's very possible. And
it's like
he's to me, he's the MVP. I
I don't think I
I
don't
think
think
he's
so
the
either.
MVP.
Drake
They
May is
have they
MVP.
have identical stats, but guess what? He has what, 17 more touchdowns?
That
Like
doesn't matter.
that's
That
gonna
doesn't
come
matter.
into play. And he's also in a harder division. He's had a
That doesn't
harder strength of schedule.
that
Matt
doesn't matter.
Stafford's the MVP. MVP is he's gonna figure it out. And arguably the offensive player of the year on the same team with him, that's probably gonna be JSN. But Puka Nacua, if he didn't miss that game and a half, he has more yards, he has more receptions. Like I promise you he'll get a touchdown in probably those 2 games. But if you have an MVP, the offensive player of the year on one team, and then Devontae Adams, who really hasn't had a great year, I don't see a way the the Seahawks come out of it unless they just get to Matthew Stafford. He's also hurt. Don't forget about that. He has a bad finger on his right hand. Don't forget about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm gonna say this. This is why I think Drake May is the MVP. Um, for one, everybody says Patriots have the easiest schedule in the league. When they gotta realize that the Patriots were 4-13 coming into this season. Nobody expected the Patriots to even be in the position that they're in right now. They're in the conference finals right now. They're in the conference finals right now. You know what I'm saying? So from going from a 4-13 team to not only making the playoffs, let alone or just even having a positive record, they lost what 2, 3 games this season, and they're in the division. I mean, in the conference finals. So it's just like, yo, like, what are we talking about right now? And this is a second year QB that didn't even play like every single game last year. So it's just like, what are we talking about right now? You feel me? It's like, and then there's a lot of games because I watch a lot of Patriots. I watched almost all the Patriots games. There's a lot of games that could have been that were blowouts. Were games that like it was like you could have Drake May could have kept playing through 3 more touchdowns in each of those games, but we decided to sit him. You know what I'm saying? That's not always the same key scenario with everybody else. Matthew Stafford, he's in these games. Like he's literally in these games. Like he has to play full games. Drake May is sitting fourth quarters, sitting in the third. Like even the last game, against the who he played the last game, the
Second one.
Dolphins. The
No.
Dolphins. He didn't even play the whole fourth. I don't think he didn't even play the whole fourth. He didn't have to. Because we're just killing teams. And if you look at a lot of the games are over before like the Jets. We killed them at like halftime. Halftime the game was over. So it's like Drake May could be out there throwing touchdown, touchdown. But what is that doing? He doesn't need to play all game because he's getting it done in the first half. You sit and you rest the rest of the game, bro. So it's like all that touchdown stuff, it don't matter, bro. And who's more valuable? You put Drake May with more weapons. What are you expecting? Because to everybody else, the Pats don't have no weapons. They got Diggs, you know what I'm saying? But the Pats got no weapons. So imagine if you gave him Puka, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, and he's gonna go crazy. So it's just like who's more valuable? Drake May's clearly more valuable. So it's like Drake May for MVP, bro. Not even an argument.
Anything, CJ? Or are you
No, we gonna find out the results. We already know what it is. I put bread that Matthew Stafford's gonna win MVP. It's fine. He knows it deep down in his soul, but he's a Patriots fan, so he's gonna stick with Drake May. And I like Drake May. I told him at the beginning of the season. I said I like the one thing I don't have a question with the Pats. It could be a question about their defense, their wide receivers, their weapons in general. But I don't got a question about Drake May, and he knows that Drake May is like that. But I think Matthew Stafford had a better season.
All right, for some more NFL news, we do have the Giants with the new head coach, CJ. How you feeling?
Come on, Tully. We're back. What did I say the last pod? I said we're coming. I said we're coming. We get the hire right. You bring Todd Monken in. You just gotta get a defensive coordinator. That's the most important part you gotta get right now. You gotta get a defensive coordinator. Because what was the downfall of the Ravens this year? The defense. Now you really can't go wrong with what the fifth overall pick. You can get Carnell Tate if you wanted to, or you can get Caleb Downs. And then you have a couple of Raven free agents that you could get. You can get Tyler Linderbaum, the center, which I don't think we need a center right now. This year will depend on if JMS is going to stay or not. You can go get Isaiah Likely, and Isaiah Likely is a real talent. Like he's a great vertical threat. He can create separation, and John Harbaugh likes the two tight end sets. So if you have Theo Johnson, an athlete, he's not going to create separation, but he'll go up and get one. And then you have someone who could separate. We're gonna be fine. And then you got Malik Neighbors, you got Wan'Dale Robinson. If you get Carnell Tate, like it could get really, really bad as long as you get the right hire for defensive coordinator. Because the problem, I promise you, this year was not our offense. We put up 30 on the Broncos defense, the only team to do that. We put up 30 on the Eagles. What, only two teams did that? So the problem wasn't our offense. We blew a bunch of 10-point lead games. If you get the defensive coordinator right, also Pat Ricard, fullback. If he's leading blocking for Cam Scottaboo, problem. It's an O lineman that's mobile. It's a problem. But I think we did got the right move.
Exciting news. Falcons getting Stefanski. How are we feeling about this move?
They're about to start losing. That's all I gotta say. That's really all I gotta say. They about to start losing. You know what I'm saying? You can't really mess with coaches that don't see talent or jump. You know what I'm saying? And he looks like a pick and choose type of guy, so you'll never win like that. So I see them staying the same, to be honest.
I think in that weak division, they come out the division. It's not gonna be like a huge jump, 12-5, something like that. They were 8-9 this season. I expect them to get 11 wins. Like they have a better roster than the Panthers, no doubt. They have a better roster than the Buccaneers. They don't have Mike Evans. He's a free agent. So remember that. I think Baker Mayfield, he's better. He's better than Michael Penix, and I don't think he's playing next year. But Bijan Robinson is definitely better than Bucky Irvin. That's one of my guys, Bijan. Drake London, they've got the better wide receiver one. They do. If they re-sign Kyle Pitts, they have a better tight end, the Cade Otton. And then they definitely have a better defense. So Stefanski's more the defensive guy, but I really do think the Falcons come out that division. And look what the Buccaneers did this season. They just dropped off the face of the earth. They started off what, 3-0? Or like 4-1, something like that. They just dropped. Abuka, great talent. What you're gonna do with Mike if Mike Evans doesn't resign? And he's also old. What are you gonna do? Chris Godwin gets hurt every year. What are you gonna do?
Before we switch gears, the Eagles OC, Trent, what's the right move to make? What's the W move for the Eagles?
Not gonna lie, I thought we was gonna get Mike McDaniels. I really wanted Mike McDaniels. I thought he was good with the Dolphins. I think we're gonna get Dabes. I hope we get Dabes. I heard he worked with Jalen Hurts before. I think he worked with Nick Sirianni too a little bit.
Hmm.
That would be nice. You know what I'm saying? I wanted Kellen Moore. We're not gonna get him back, but that's fine.
No, you're not.
Um, he might go to the Bills. I hope that doesn't happen. Uh, but yeah, I really hope he comes to the team. You know what I'm saying? We just need somebody that's like decent, that got a brain. You know what I'm saying? That's not obvious. Like, that schemes are not obvious. You know what I'm saying? If we can get that, we're successful. We're back to the chip every time. But I don't know why we keep going through these issues, but it's okay.
The Giants never should have fired him. I've been said that, but
Hey, but they did. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, those are our NFL picks for the week. Check back in for next week to, what I'm saying, to see. The Super Bowl's coming up, so, y'all got to lock in. Anyway, switch it to the NBA. If y'all caught last podcast, somebody's prediction hit, so that's money right there. Trae Young to the Wizards and CJ to the Hawks. Let's talk about this trade, man. It's very exciting.
back up from the camera, bro. We both about to say the same thing last time. But go ahead. Go
All
go go
all
get
I'm
hype.
gonna say is that in the last pod, I dead called it spot on. That's
Money.
all I want to say. Spot on. That's all I gotta say. I was
That's
spot
it?
on. I was spot on. Go watch the film. Go watch my film.
Nah, I'll give you that. I was really gonna like say it last time before you got to it, but hey, right now, Jalen Johnson forgot how to play basketball, so it looks like a questionable trade. He just forgot once Trae Young got traded. Putting up 12 points, 13 points. Nobody got time for that. He was playing like an all-star, play like an all-star. No time to rely on CJ McCollum. He's just there as a safety belt. That's it. There's no time to start forgetting how to play basketball. But Trae Young, they're not gonna play in the rest of the season. They don't want the Knicks to get their pick because if it falls out the top eight, they don't get it. So they're gonna keep their top eight pick, not play Trae Young. Can't be mad at it, but I would like to see my Knicks get that pick, but things happen.
Speaking of All-Star, we do have the starters for East and West locked in. So how are you feeling about those? I mean, for starters, man, on the East, we got my boy Tyrese. So clap it up for Tyrese first.
Tyrese
You
Max.
know what I'm saying? Starter, first time All-Star starter. That's pretty exciting. He deserves it, but I ain't gonna lie, the West low-key always be cooking, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Can't even lie. West always be
No
cooking.
Braun. That's no Braun. Trent, you see that face right there? Somebody highlight that face right there. He knows it's coming to an end. You
Man,
know, all
I'm
good things come to an end. It's okay.
not gonna lie, bro. I'm not even mad, bro. Like real spill. Like I'm gonna just speak for all Braun fans. It's like you get to a point, right? And it's like you won so much. You won so much as a fan. He brought so much joy. It's like at this point, if we're not actually gonna be contenders, bro, all you're doing is just making my life more stressful. To be honest with you, that's all it is. Because having to watch the Lakers on a daily basis is giving me grace. I'm 21, about to be 22. Why am I getting grace watching the Lakers play basketball? Niggas act like they can't do their jobs. Like at this point, I just want LeBron to retire so I could just rest, not have to worry about nothing. Maybe just enjoy basketball for basketball. I probably won't even watch basketball. I like football a little bit more now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of just ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of niggas hating on LeBron for no reason. He's 41. Niggas is still on this nigga's piece. Like he can't get a break. You know what I'm saying? And neither can we as fans. We can't get a break. If he can't get a break, we can't get a break because we're gonna have his back at all times. So, you know, all I want to say is, LeBron. I hope you got like maybe one more year left in you. I thought
No,
this year.
keep losing.
I
Keep
thought
losing.
this. I thought this year was gonna be the last one. But hey, bro, if you want to keep playing, keep playing. But just don't start, bugging out. dropping 8 points and shit like that. We don't need that. You can hold that one. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. Leave off on a good note. So
Well,
yeah.
Trent, you should tell your mans
Let's hear
what
this.
his contract ends this year. Hey, tell him to come over to New York, sign a vet
Ooh,
minimum, sign a vet minimum, and we could work with him. Yeah,
I
we
was
could.
talking. I was actually talking to one of my coworkers, and I said, "Yeah, I'll never be a Knicks fan ever in my life. The only way is if LeBron was to ever go to the Knicks,
if
and then that
LeBron
would be the only way."
if LeBron goes to the
That,
Knicks,
that's
balance of the
that,
universe might be off. Trent and
just
C.
a piece of advice for the viewers, though. Me and Trent's rivalry started probably 2012. Yeah, we picked our favorite players same day, seen them playing against each other. He said he likes him. I said I like Melo. That was it.
You've been beefing with
Now
him.
it's
Actually,
now it's
actually,
been beef since.
I actually started watching Braun in 2011, around September.
He got it. He got it. He got it a year before me, but I knew who my guy was. Top five scorer of all time. Not in the record books. Bag, scoring. Melo was like that. I I don't like disrespecting Melo's name. Yandel tried me in the group chat the other day. I wasn't having it. I wasn't.
CJ, you didn't talk about Carmelo's rookie year though. What you guys say about that one?
Y'all already know he should have won Rookie of the Year. Don't Tully. I'm trying to be calm. I'm
Hey, you
trying to
got
be
to get y'all
calm.
started, man. We got to get y'all
Don't.
started.
Melo made the playoffs. Braun was at home. There should be no reason why he should have got. It's the same stats, pretty much the same stats. But Braun got like one more assist. Melo got like one more rebound. It's the same stats. Which team went to the playoffs? Come on. Which team went to the playoffs? And Melo's legacy would have been better if he didn't get snubbed, dropped one pick. If he would have went to the Pistons, that's rings right there. Because they just won a year, what, 2 years ago? Oh, like 2001. If he went there, problems. Pro- I, problems. Problems. But don't get me excited, Tuli. Don't get me excited. Don't get me excited.
I'm gonna just say this briefly. I like Melo. I'm not gonna lie, that New York Knicks team is probably the only Knicks team I ever liked in my life. I don't hate Carmelo, but what you're seeing right here in the case of CJ is what Melo fans have to feed themselves. Delusion. Um,
Melo's a great scorer. I don't got delusion. Melo couldn't be guarded by a lot, uh, bro. A lot of people couldn't guard Melo, bro, including Braun. Braun couldn't guard Melo. He couldn't.
I don't know about all that, but if that helps you sleep at night, go ahead.
We got the clips. We
Okay.
the clips.
Any
Next.
yeah. Next. Yeah, I heard it here. But anyways, man, the Nuggets, third seed, seems like they're, finding ways to win, pulling it together. How we feeling about the Nuggets?
Uh, it's kind of scary. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. It really is.
Not too scary, but it's kind of scary for the inside of the NBA because
Nah, that's
it's
scary.
gonna get bad. The Nuggets already got like a 9-man scary rotation, and it's gonna get a little bit worse if these other pieces that are like that are getting bench warmer minutes, if they're stepping up and they're showing that like when Jokic is not here or when Aaron Gordon's not here and Christian Braun's not here, we're gonna show up.
Cam Johnson,
That's kind of scary because that just shows that they're deep. They're deeper than what we think, and if
Payton
they're
Watson
deeper,
putting up 30. Don't
yeah,
forget
like it's
about that.
bad, bro. Because like if people in the NBA already can't stop Jokic and they can't stop playoff Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, it's gonna be bad if we got a random nigga coming off the bench and giving them niggas a random 20 that we don't need. That's gonna be bad.
Word.
So,
It's
uh,
confidence.
you know, I would say
Payne
my Lakers dynasty is
Payne
gonna.
had 32 today. My bad to cut you off, but he had 35. My bad. He had 35 today just now. So,
4 blocks.
Who?
Peyton
Pete
Watson.
Watson.
Yeah, man, that's a bad man. He just popped out. Jody Woods. Um, that age gap is kind of questionable, but it's none of my business. Um, but yeah, hey, maybe that's but he's a little bit
What
happy.
about
You
Jamal
know what I'm
Murray
saying?
though? My fault. But what about Jamal Murray? He's playing like all NBA, second team. He's killing. He's straight killer.
Jamal's always been nice. It's just that, uh, actually, I think he should make the All Star game this year. Not gonna lie, I do think he should be an All Star player this year. I think he's averaging like what 25.
Something like that. And it's very efficient. Very,
And
very efficient.
exactly, I think this is a year that he deserves to be an All Star this year. And yeah, I think he just deserves it.
The man shooting 45% on threes. Just keep that in mind.
Or from three.
From three, he's on pace for a 50-40-90 season if he gets the field goal up. He's shooting 49% from the field, 45 from three on 8 attempts a game, and he's shooting 89% from the line.
Yeah, that's lethal.
50-40-90.
It's scary.
Yeah, kind of like we said up earlier, the Nuggets are always that team that you have to look out for. In the Western Conference, they have the players, they have experience, they've been there before, and
Killed LeBron too.
they,
Remember
all right,
that.
CJ.
Remember that.
This is Mr. Skip himself, bro.
Just me eating for no reason.
Killed LeBron. That's all I care about.
All right. Shifting gears to some more news. Giannis getting booed by fans. My Nigerian brother, you know what I'm saying? He was getting booed by fans and he said he booed back. Giannis and the Bucks, man. Bruh, it's not looking good. He said he want to stay. The fans is there, everything. How are we feeling?
Chris.
Oh, he's leaving. He might finish out this year, but he signed an extension either this offseason or last offseason for no reason. I think he was just trying to convince his mind and other people that he's gonna stay, but he can't. Like he said in the post game presser, what yesterday? They asked him, "Is he gonna stay in Milwaukee?" He says, "I don't know." When your star says, "I don't know," now like, come on now. Like I think it's better for him to leave, and I think it's time for the Warriors to try and make their move now. As much as I want Giannis in New York, we're probably not trading Cat. So I don't know why, but um, I think it's time for the Warriors to make their move or the Heat. The Heat, if they get Giannis, dangerous. They keep Bam, they keep Norman Powell, Davion Mitchell, dangerous. You trade Tyler Hero, Andrew Wiggins, whatever you want to do. If I'm the Heat, I'm getting Giannis. But I'm also if I'm the Warriors, I'm in dire need of Giannis. I don't care whatever it takes. You send Draymond Green over there. Whoever, whoever you want, you go get Giannis.
Interesting take. For the Cavaliers, will they figure it out? What's going on with the Cavs, CJ?
The Cavs, man, they they just do things that just make me question why is that team together. And they be in and out the lineup sometimes, but you remember last year the Thunder and the Cavs, they started off hot. And it was all that's all they talked about. The other night without Jalen Williams, yeah, the Cavs didn't have Darius Garland. They lost by 32. Why?
Mhm.
At home. They lost by 32. Then I give them credit. They killed the Sixers. They beat them twice back to back. Sorry, Tully. Beat them back to back. But guess what? The game before that, they lost to the Jazz. No, like, why? Like it just doesn't make sense. It's the same thing with the Sixers. I love the Sixers, even though, we're supposed to be rivals, but I love Maxey and VJ. But it's just those games, why are you giving them up? The Jazz are not even trying to win. They're not trying to win. And you got the defensive player of the year. You got Jared Allen, who's a good defender. Donovan Mitchell, solid. Jalen Tyson, he's having a great year. He's a good defender, shooting like 44 from three. There's just no reason why 123 points is being given up to the Utah Jazz. There's no reason. And that's what just doesn't make them scary in the East. And that's why the East is just, it's wide open. It's wide open.
It is. For Michael Porter Jr. and the Nets, man, what's going on there? You know, my guy MPJ, he's really hooping, and I feel like if he goes to a different team, they have the chance to contend. How are we feeling about MPJ?
Um, I feel like MPJ. I didn't expect him to go off how he's been going off this year. Um, but it's showing that he got more to his bag than him being just like a strictly sharpshooter. Um, I think right now what the Nets should do with Michael Porter Jr. is just use him as bait. The Nets are no, I don't know what the Nets got going on over there. Don't know. They're not trying to rebuild. They're not trying to get started. They're just a team. That's all they are. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm the Nets, you know what I'm saying, and if they do want to try to actually figure out how to rebuild, I say you use Michael Porter Jr. as trade bait, trade him to a team like the Warriors, maybe try to get some good picks off of them, or maybe even just get Jonathan Kuminga, because Jonathan Kuminga is going to do the same thing. You get him to the Nets, he's going to start going off for 25 a game too. You know what I'm saying? You trade him over there, and the Warriors do need a guy like Michael Porter Jr., somebody that's tall, a shooter, kind of replaces like the Klay Thompson that they had, and I think that's the only team I can really see Michael Porter Jr. going to right now is like the Warriors. So,
Yeah, I agree. I he should be moved, but is he gonna be moved? I don't know. Um, but when you put up 66 points in a total basketball game against a team who's slumping like my New York Knicks, and you lost by 54, they like said there's nobody safe on that team. Cam Thomas signed a 1 year deal. He'll be leaving in the offseason. Michael Porter Jr., think about it. The Knicks got Mikal Bridges for 5 first round picks. 5 of them. Imagine what you can get from Michael Porter Jr. if you include teams, multiple teams, not just one, multiple. You could get a bunch of first round picks. And hey, send them to the Warriors. You know the Warriors are gonna not be good in a couple of years. Steph's what, 37? Couple 20, 30, 20, 31. Got a couple picks. Call it a day.
So in our East, right, there's a few stars out, big stars that, have a lot of big impacts on games. So earlier we were discussing who's the more important player and who impacts their team more, Jason Tatum or Haliburton?
Oh, you're trying.
um, I think who impacts their team more, I think it's Haliburton. Um, Jason Tatum obviously is the better player, of course, but you can see right now with the Celtics, they're perfectly fine without him right now. Um, and not to say like they're going to be elite in the playoffs or an elite team without him for good, but I think them, still cooking right now without Jason Tatum goes to show that they don't really, not to say they don't need him, but they can live without him. As you can see with the Pacers, they've been garbage. You know what I'm saying? Bottom tier. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show that they really are missing Halliburton in general. Obviously, they lost a little bit more than Halliburton in the offseason. They lost their center as well. But Halliburton being gone as their lead playmaker, ball handler, and even primary scorer at certain times, that's gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hurt. So I think Halliburton is more important to the Pacers right now than Jason Tatum is to the Celtics.
Don't get me wrong. Uh, I'm not being a hater. Tyrese Haliburton's a talent. He's killed my Knicks back-to-back years. But I still think Jason Tatum is the more valuable player and the better player. That being said, it's because I don't see the Celtics as a real threat in the playoffs. Jaylen Brown, all that cute 30-point game, two-way player. I should have been player. Bro, I promise you, sit OG on that over. Sit Asar on that over. You could throw players at Jaylen Brown, and the Celtics are not gonna win a chip. Jason Tatum is a real mismatch for anybody. For anybody. You cannot throw somebody on Jason Tatum and be like, yeah, we'll be fine. We're good here. Jaylen Brown, that's different. This season he's killing, don't get me wrong. He's killing, but I just think Jason Tatum takes the Celtics over the top. I think if the Pacers had more of a consistent center, with J-Hop, he's having a good season, but if you have Miles Turner still, I think you could be fighting for a playoff spot without all the injuries. Benedict's been hurt. Nemhar's missed a couple of games. Siakam's playing great basketball, but I just think, and Obi Toppin hasn't played since the first month of the season. I know y'all forgot about him, but I think Tyrese Haliburton's a very valuable player, but I do think Jason Tatum puts the Celtics over the top. Celtics are not winning shit without him.
All right. Now to get into our personal teams, man. Some of our teams, I ain't gonna lie, we all kind of been in a slump. My Sixers, it's like kind of like what CJ said earlier, we're very inconsistent. So that's something we got to tighten up. I'm just happy that Embiid's getting, his rhythm back in and his groove back in. If he could continue, to give us some production, we might, be able to take it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But for the Knicks and the Lakers, everyone's gonna go. CJ, you can start off with the Knicks. How are you feeling about the Knicks' struggles? Obviously Brunson called in the player meeting. They did beat the Nets by OD, but it is the Nets. How you feeling?
It is the Nets, and I just feel like there's just no excuse for the play of OG Anunoby and Cat right now. They're OG. We call him Baby Kawhi. We call him everything. He's known for his defense. But lately, these last couple of years, since he's come to the Knicks, his offense has really, really improved. And Trent argues he's our third option. If he's our third option, he can't be given like games where he's taking 6 shots or he's taking 5 shots or he's taking 17 shots, but he's making five. He can't have that. Like these last couple of games, what over the last 15, he's averaging 16 points, but he's shooting 40% and like 21 from three. And you can't have that. Mikal Bridges is somebody like you don't know sometimes what you're gonna get from him, but he's still shooting 50% from the field, averaging what, 14, 15 points and shooting 40 from three. And he's gonna play defense. So I in a trade, I'd rather package OG and Cat up and send them somewhere else because they're both injury prone. Cat doesn't play defense. You don't know what you're gonna get from OG. I'd rather take McCall. McCall shooting 50%, 40 from three. He's played 600 straight games, straight NBA games. I'm taking availability, but there's just no excuse with what's going on right now, and it's something in the locker room like Carmelo and Vince Carter were saying. It's something in there that's a problem. Somebody's a cancer, and they either gotta iron it out or somebody's gotta go. Like Gershon Yabusele, he's being shopped because his attitude, you could just see it in his body language. It's not good. Jordan Clarkson didn't play in the first half of last game, so he might be getting traded, I think, soon. There's just stuff you got to do. And you also got to think Deuce McBride's having a great season. So you got to find a way to get him more minutes. But
Trent, anything with the Lakers struggles, any breakdowns? How are you feeling about the Lakers?
When it comes to the Lakers, it's very, very simple. Um, we know the Lakers struggle with defense due to Luca, sometimes AR, LeBron. Um, we have a few guys that don't want to play defense or don't play defense at all. So it's very simple. You're not gonna trade LeBron and you're not gonna trade Luca. You don't want to give up AR because you don't want to mess up your future without LeBron, right? So what needs to happen is AR simply needs to come off the bench. Rui Hachimura has to come off the bench. Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber, they need to get traded. They need to get off the team. They need to get waived. Marcus Smart and Vando, they need to start. They need to be the starters in their lineup. I do like Jake LaRavia in the starting lineup, but I still like him as a bench piece. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put him in the starting lineup yet. But at the same time, I do think that the Lakers need to do something before the trade deadline to get more 3-and-D players. Players that want to play more defense, players that are more athletic, and that could just really just do it all. Because they're really just stuck in this in this box with a whole bunch of players that are only good at certain things and not players that can do multiple things. You know what I'm saying? And they need just more guys that are just willing to, that can shoot, that can dribble, that can defend, that can, make athletic plays when we need them. Not these just guys that we can only use for certain moments. Like even Vandal's one of my favorite Lakers on the team. And we can only play Vando for when we need great defense or a hustle or rebounding. You know what I'm saying? And he could score in the paint a little bit, but we can't use Vando how we really want to use Vando because he lacks in shooting sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Or Gabe Vincent. He's short. Yes, they say he plays good defense. I don't really see it, but he's an inconsistent shooter. He's very undersized. So when can we really use him? Maxi Kleber. I don't even know what he does. He hasn't been nice like that since like early in the Mavs. So it's just like we have a lot of players that are just one dimensional, and we just can't use them. We need guys that are just able to play good basketball all around. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Lakers need.
Our last set of news is kind of something crazy, but Jimmy Butler's injury, that shit was crazy, I ain't gonna lie, leaving the Warriors in an awkward position. So, what are things that, the Warriors should be doing or try to do now that they don't have Jimmy, now that Jimmy's out?
All right, with what I think the Warriors should do now that Jimmy's out, um, I think they need to make a move before the deadline. Um,
No choice.
like they have no choice. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're coming towards the end of the Curry era in a sense. I do think Curry still got 3 years left in him or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, you only got a few more years left. You know what I'm saying? So I think they need to make a trade for either I don't know what they're holding on to, but they need to make a trade for Giannis. They need to make a trade for MPJ. They need to make big moves to help them win now. You know what I'm saying? You have a guy in Jonathan Kuminga that you don't want to play, but you don't want to give up. You got to pick and choose what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You're just wasting his potential and you're just wasting your own time. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of picks. You're not in a stage where you're gonna need your picks in the next year or two or three. You know what I'm saying? Because right now for the Warriors, it should be win now, win now, win now. When you have a player like Curry, if Curry was maybe 27, 26, and you wanted to keep your picks to kind of maybe like get some more young pieces, cool. But Curry's 37. You know what I'm saying? You don't really every year from now on should be trying to get pieces to help Curry win a chip, compete. You know what I'm saying? And compete at least. You know what I'm saying? It's like you shouldn't be worried about rebuilding right now. You can't try to win now and rebuild at the same time. It's just not gonna work like that. To be honest with you, so you need to give it all you got to get Giannis right now. Because if you get Giannis, you kind of revive your franchise. You know what I'm saying? If you get an MPJ, it makes you guys a little bit more competitive. Yes, you don't have Jimmy Butler now, but you get MPJ, you get your kind of Curry, Clay kind of dynamic back. You get another good little solid piece, and you might be okay. You know what I'm saying? The Warriors do need a big bad. They need a guy like Miles Turner, somebody that's tall, can shoot because they love their centers that can shoot. That can shoot. He plays a little bit of defense, not too much, but something. They need somebody that has some size and that they can really use in that little system they got theirs. But besides that, they need to make a move now. If not, they're cooked. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold on to them picks. Don't hold on to the players that you're not gonna really use. Don't come on. Make these moves if y'all trying to be serious. That's all I gotta say.
I agree with Trent. And honestly, this all started with Draymond because he got rid of KD. He got into an argument. KD said he's not dealing with that. He left. And then also, y'all forget, the Warriors wanted Lauri Markkinen for the longest. And Draymond said, nah, we don't want him. And now look at him now. He's putting up 28 points a game, shooting a good percent from three. Lauri's 7 foot. He's 7 foot, and that can shoot, that can score under in the paint. You could use somebody like that. MPJ is 6'10". You there's no reason on why Draymond is getting in the way of so many things, just like Jordan Poole. There's no reason why you should have traded Jordan Poole for 38-year-old Chris Paul. Why? Why? You had him for 1 year. 1 year and then let him walk for free. You gave up Jordan Poole, a young talent, and he struggled over the last 3 years because that's my guy. That's my favorite player in the NBA right now. Um, you gave him up, and he's been struggling, and that's his system. That he plays great in the system. He's taken after Steph Curry, after Klay Thompson. Why trade him for Chris Paul and then lose Chris Paul for nothing? And it's all because there's one common denominator, Draymond Green, Lauri Markkanen, Jordan Poole, Kevin Durant, all because of Draymond. What's next? Yeah, I say trade him. I say trade him. He's a common denominator for all of this. He's a problem. He brought him 4 chips. Cool. But you could have had probably 3 more. Kevin Durant signs an extension. This league is in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. But everybody wants to keep Draymond for life. No, Draymond away for life. No, Uh, no, he's got to go.
All right, y'all heard it here, man. Let us know about our takes, what you liked. You know what I'm saying? Tune back in next week to see if the picks was hitting. You guys got anything else you want to say about the any more NBA news or anything?
No.
The Lakers is almost down by 30, though.
Stuff. Well, go through our links. We have a TikTok. It's gonna be down below. Leave a comment on how you like this podcast. And we back here, man. We out.